Hey, what's up, fellow photographers? In this DxO PhotoLab tutorial, I'm going to show you how to interpret or understand the histogram, which is right here. And hopefully you learn something new to improve your photography workflow. So let's get started. So to make this tutorial a little bit easier, I'm going to show you the luminance histogram right here, or the shadows and highlights histogram, because the RGB histogram, which shows the luminance level as well as the RGB channels, it'll be a little bit confusing to explain. So let me just go to the luminance level and let me explain how the histogram can be interpreted. So this histogram goes from left to right. So the left-hand side represents shadows, or the darkest parts of the image, and the middle represents midtones. So again, the middle represents the midtones, and the right-hand side represents the highlights, or the brightest parts of the image. Now, you can't see any numerical values on this histogram because it's a graphical representation. But at each point of the histogram, it represents how many brightness or darkness pixels there are. So you can see this part of the histogram right here, it's showing a very high peak, and that's because there's a lot of highlight pixels. Remember, the right side is highlights, or the brightest parts of the image, and that's why this image right here is pretty bright, or it's overblown. And this is an image of the Shire from Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit, which I visited in New Zealand a few years ago. So anyways, this image, you can see it's overblown. Regarding the shadows or the darkest parts of the image, it's not fully dark right here. Like, it's not exposed very well. There should be a little bit more black. So as you can see on the histogram, there's like a little bit of a gap on the left side. It's missing, let's say, about like 5% of the left hand or the left horizontal axis. So it's not entirely dark, or it's not at its darkest point. So we'll get into fixing that in a moment. I'm just going to show you a little image to help you understand how the histogram works a little bit better. So as I was stating, when the histogram is pushed to the left, it's dark, or your image is going to come out dark. If it's pushed all the way to the right, it's going to be overblown and it's going to be too bright. And if it's somewhat squished in the middle, with the darkest part going to this bottom left corner and the brightest part going to the bottom right corner, it's considered exposed correctly. And as you probably know, exposure is controlled by the exposure triangle of ISO, aperture, and shutter speed. So going back to this image, we're going to try and correct the histogram or balance the exposure. So we can tell by the histogram as well as the image itself that it's overexposed. There's a lot of highlights, and we need to squish it in or move it in a little bit. So what we can do is go to the tonal section right here in DxO PhotoLab, and I can reduce the highlights slightly to bring down the brightest parts. So you can already see this image or this histogram is starting to squish into the middle. Now, I do need to map or make the image a little bit darker to fill in this gap. So what I can do is go to the blacks here, and I'm just going to map it to the left and pay attention to the shadows area of the histogram. It's moving to the left. I can overdo it and just give you an example. And now you can see it's squished all the way to the left and it's too dark. And you can see these clipped areas right here. But let me correct that and just move the blacks slightly to the left just to map it correctly. And it looks like there's a slight little gap here still on the highlights. And usually most photography software, they do have a white slider, but this one doesn't in PhotoLab. So what I can do is go to the curves, go to the luminance channel or the luminance curve, and just push this point right here to the left just to map it slightly to get the correct exposure. So that looks good. So as you can see already, the exposure or the image looks a little bit better slightly just by decreasing the highlights in the sky and in the front here or in the foreground. Of course, this image does need a lot more adjustments, but this is a good start, and this shows you how the histogram works. Another thing I can do is just click on this DxO Clearview Plus and just add a slight little surreal adjustment to it just to make it look good. And sometimes a histogram, it's okay to have it overexposed or underexposed. You can see this histogram has been pushed to the right a little bit more with the highlights, but the image looks a lot better. I can still decrease the highlights a little bit more, and I can correct it here as well and push the whites to the left. Or actually, let me see here. Yeah, just move it to the left a little bit and balance it out with the highlights here, and that looks a little bit better. So let's take a look at the before and after of the image just by correcting the histogram or the exposure, plus this DxO Clearview. Now, going back to the RGB channel, we were looking at only the luminance level or the brightness and darkness levels of the histogram. However, in most photography software, we can see the entire RGB channel. So these are the reds, these are the greens, and these are the blues. And they work the same way in terms of the luminance or the brightness histogram. So there's going to be a lot of blue in the shadows here, and there's going to be less in the highlights. And then here we have the RGB composite, which also includes the complement colors of red, green, and blue, which are cyan, yellow, and magenta. Now, there is something I want to show you is the clipping indicators or the out of gamut warning, which is here. So I can click on this, and then I can click on the moon icon here, which will show the shadow clipping. And I can click on the sun here, which will show the highlight clipping. And as you can see these markings or these masks that represent clipping. So these represent that the whites or the blacks are at 100%. Or the yellows, it's at 100% in the highlights and so forth. It depends on the color here. I can overdo it just by decreasing the highlights, or increasing it, and I can make it darker. So these are just overexposed or underexposed areas throughout the RGB channel. So let me just turn off these gamut warnings and let me reset this image. So now hopefully you should have a better understanding of the histogram. Let me go to this other image here and let me make sure this is reset. So I did remove this crop or the horizon alignment. So let me just correct that. That looks good. Click on apply, and it looks like there's some clipping. There's some pixels gone. So I will quickly apply a crop to it. So now you can see this image is very dark. It looks pretty cool still, in my opinion, even though it's totally moved to the left. So it represents a lot of black or 100% black pixels. So if I click on this gamut warning and click on this moon here, you can see this is all overblown or underblown, or I should say just too dark. So I can correct that by mapping the blacks to the right and then moving the shadows to the right just to make it a little bit better or a little bit more improved. Sometimes depending on the image, you can't recover all the details, which is fine. Let me see here. So you can see here with this correction, it just made the image really bad. There's a lot of noise in it. So I think what I'm going to do is just make a slight adjustment to the shadows and blacks and just make it look a little bit or slightly better without messing up the image visually. So I think just keeping it at the default 0 and increasing the shadows a little bit to about 50 makes the image look a lot better. There's still some noise in this image, but at least the noise gives it a film-like view or a film-like look. Actually, I'll keep it to 30 30 looks good. So here's the before and after of the image. So this is the after image just by increasing the shadows a little bit. And this is the before image. They still both look good. I can add saturation or whatnot, but this is a tutorial on the histogram. So you can see sometimes it's okay to have the histogram squished to the left or pushed to the right. It just depends on the artistic touch you're going for and what the exposure setting or the scene is. And you can see the subject is here is the sun. So this whole foreground being too dark and the clouds being too dark, it's not a big deal. Plus there's this cool car right here. And one other thing I do want to show you is this auto gamut warning for the soft proofing. This works same as the clipping indicators for the highlights and shadows, but this one here on the right, which has like a color space icon, it's for when you're soft proofing. So when you're getting ready to print colors, obviously you're going to print colors or black and white anyways, you're going to use a soft proofing to get this image ready to print and make sure the colors print correctly. So you would use this auto gamut warning and to make sure the colors will print correctly. This is another tutorial, but I can give you just a short example. So like these colors in the middle will not print correctly because it is auto gamut right here. But hopefully you understand how it works. And if you have any further questions about the histogram, make sure to leave a comment below. And as always, live easy, sleep breezy, and stay lovely.